Oh, this is going to be quite an interesting video. For the most part, I am always very, very prepared when it comes to what I'm going to talk about. But apparently, the way that we are going with this one is letting it be a rant, really. So let's see how let's see how that goes. So, what came to mind when I was thinking of a topic for this or a title for it to like sum everything up is literally Kendrick's line for I've been going through something 1,300 days. I've been going through something like, yo, what the actual hell is adulting, anyways? Like, help, help! Like, ref, do something. Because what is going on? I don't even know why I'm laughing right now. What is actually going on? I mean, speaking for myself, like, there's been like a number of transitions and changes here and there that I've been thinking in general about just the whole like concept of change and how we're always saying, oh, nobody likes change. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. It's all this and that and that and that. But it's so true. Honestly, that is so true. Even for me right now, because it's like I'm reaching a point where I'm realizing there aren't many things that stay the same. Like things just keep changing every single time, whether you liked them or you didn't like them, whether you are used to a certain routine, like things are just changing. And we're the ones who have to like find a way to work through it or to work with it. Again, this is not like those kinds of videos where I like give you I give hope and everything because always being like the therapist friend, you always have to find a way to like give a positive twist to a situation. Honestly, I don't think I have it in me right now to do that. So I'm just going to like be saying the situation as it is. I wrote a few notes here and there, so this is really just me talking from my notes. Um yeah, this is me just sharing my thoughts about whatever it is that the title will have become by the end of by the time you're seeing it, if you'll even see this video to begin with. So yeah. So yeah, I was talking about how like there have been transitions and changes, and not just in my life, but even just like in general. Look at what is happening like in our country. Things that are not even that could not have been on my bingo cards of 2025. They just happening like, oh okay. For example, now the death of Raila, like who would have thought that? I kept saying how he looked so immortal. He looks like nothing like that would have ever happened. And I was thinking about how again, even in January, like the 1st of January, we're like, Happy New Year. Ha, ha, ha." Would we have thought like whatever happened this year would have happened? Like genuinely, there are things that just and it's a bit scary because it's like, what else is in the future that I'm not aware of? Obviously, I'm not aware of because I don't be seeing the future, but it's like how much more is in store and will I be able to handle it? Even when I think of it, it's just like I feel as if I have had so many versions of myself this year alone. Month number 10, and I feel like I have had so many versions of myself. And it just forces me to ask myself the very same question and be like, how many more versions am I going to experience in this life? Because as a 23-year-old, yes, I'll be turning 24 next month. As a 23-year-old, I feel like I have seen enough. I have seen more than enough. So where are we actually heading with this? Anyways, um, this is me really just trying to talk about things without also not oversharing in a sense, like something that I look back to or look back on and regret and be like, no, why the hell did you say all that? But yeah, another thing is unemployment. Oh my god, unemployment sucks. Here's the thing. I know everything comes with its perks, that's for sure. So even with employment, I know there's like a whole set of difficulties that comes with it, whether it's like the people that you work with, the people that you work under, the whole not having time to yourself, all of that. I know employment has its own sides for sure. But also speaking of unemployment, I mean, my experience right now is I find myself having this sort of like a wave of sadness. I don't want to call it depression per se, but a wave of sadness every new week. like literally every Monday. You know, when you talk about Monday blues, but it's more of for people who are working, because it's like, I'm back in the system. But there's also some form of Monday blues for unemployment, where you wake up and it's like, this is another week. What are we actually doing with our lives? You know, we've been doing this for a whole year, honey. The year is ending. You're not getting any younger. You need to like get things. Like you need to get yourself together. You need to do so much, and you're just here. And then you start panicking. I mean, yes, you are trying and all with the applications and whatnot. That's also a whole other thing, where I came to also find out that I was starting to even have like fear of applying, because finding an application or the chance to apply translated in my head as also a chance to be rejected. So now it becomes like a whole fear of rejection, where it's like, oh, okay, so now we're not sending in CVs, we're not sending in like the resumes and all that, because I'm just like, this is just another chance for me to be told, oh yeah, yeah, we'll consider you another time. Yeah, you can only hear that so many times. Honestly, you can only hear that so many times. So it's like, maybe if I don't send in any, like, it's a form of trying to be in control. Maybe if I don't send them in, they won't have to reject me, which is, it doesn't make too much sense, because again, you're also sitting at home and you're jobless. And also it forced me to think of it deeper, where it's like, what is the definition of a meaningful life for me? Because I feel like we have put so much emphasis on being able to like be employed, I guess, like having a job and always being stressed and always be like, you're always forever on the go. It's like that, the whole it's like the whole hamster on a wheel, where we're so used to that cycle that if you're not in that cycle, then you feel like you're missing something. So I was asking myself, is it that my worth is tied to having a job? Is it that my worth is tied to knowing that I have like a constant stream of income every single month? And so if I'm not doing that, then that means that I add up to nothing. I'm still working through that. I really want to reach a point where I have changed my belief system, where my life has more meaning than me being able to secure a job. I mean, of course, again, in the society we live in capitalism, money is very important, because there are a lot of things that you need, that you are able to do because you have the money, because you have the access to do it. So I may have the gift. Can you tell I've been watching self-help? I literally said I may have the gift of time, but I may have time for sure to do other things, but my hands are still tied in another sense. So yeah, something else that I was thinking of is how we invalidate our tough situations under the guise of people have it worse. So sometimes you're going through something and you're just like, no, you know, the people who are sick in hospital, the people who are, you know, they don't have a family, I don't know, like everything, literally anything that you can think of to tell yourself that my situation isn't as bad. Of which, yes, sometimes that works. It does, where it teaches you to be grateful for what you have in the present moment. But I always say, to throw a spanner in the works, if you're gonna be if you're going to be happy because other people have it worse, then you should be sad because other people have it better, because there's always someone who is ahead of you in one way or another. I'm just saying, I don't know if this is playing devil's advocate or whatever it is, but I just think of it like that. If I choose to be happy today that I was able to maybe get up and run, that is somebody who has gone to the gym and they've also gone to work. Me, I just ran and I came back home. There's always going to be someone who is ahead of you. So I mean, I don't know what you think about that philosophy or that way of thinking, but I'm just like, if you're gonna be happy because someone has it worse, then you're gonna be sad because someone has it better. Yeah. On to the next one. This time I was having this conversation with another friend about Nepo babies, and we were like, if there's something that I could change in my life, I would be a Nepo baby. Because I mean, obviously, like you have like a job secured, you have your life secured, like no matter what happens, you know that your parents are going to show up for you. There's already a trust fund for you anyways, so how bad could life really get? But then again, thinking of it much more, we were talking about how they also have their own problems, in the sense that again, from the video that I did last time for Maslow's hierarchy, about how we have like the lowest, the first tier that needs to be met for human beings is the physiological needs, and then we come to the safety and security, then love and belonging, then self-esteem, and then self-actualization. And I was telling her how it's just that we have, like, the money problems are the ones that are present a lot, like that's what is mostly on our minds. But the truth is there are other problems. It's just the same way in relationships the biggest problem has seemed to be cheating, but in reality there are so many more problems in relationships. It can be, you can be even be incompatible, you know, different money habits, different communication patterns, trauma. Like, there's so much that could also contribute to the downfall of something without it being the cheating part. Now, bringing it back to what I'm saying about the Nepo babies is, as much as they look like life is so much easier for them because they don't have to worry about finances, there are definitely other things that they have to worry about. For example, self-actualization. That is such a big thing, honestly, that I feel like if you learn to hack it, you have won in life. Leave alone the whole having big cars and money and if you learn to hack the self-actualization, that I feel like that is what really matters in this life. It's knowing that truly I am doing my best, like I am at my full potential, like I have done what I could have done. That is the real thing. And I feel like that is something that they struggle with. Obviously I wouldn't relate, but I feel like that is something that they struggle with, in the sense that people feel like people assume that everything has been handed to them. You know, they don't have to work for anything. Also, there are definitely other problems, like health problems. Hello, spirituality, where you start experiencing existential crisis right, left, and center, and asking yourself, why am I even here? What am I doing? What is my purpose? What other problems do we have? Unlearning your beliefs, like the self-limiting beliefs, working through your traumas. Like, there are so many more problems in this life. It's not always just money. It's just that money has been put at the forefront of it. So my whole point of this is, because I assume there will be something along the lines of, are we all going through it? It's that everyone faces problems of their kind, whether, no matter what social class you're in or the economic class that you are in, everyone has their own problems. Because then again, remember, I was watching this girl called Jada. I can put the video that I was watching right here. How she was saying, as much as we dream for things, like living in the reality of an achieved dream has its own challenges, because everything just comes with its own sides, you know. For example, maybe let's say you've been able to maybe acquire like a company and it's doing really well. There are challenges of having a company, like you have to really be on your toes every single time and making sure that people are working as they should. There's just a problem. there's a downside to literally everything. So we are all facing challenges in our own ways, and it's something that I just keep thinking of it also when it comes to like age wise, where I say that right now the challenges that I face are mostly managing to build a solid foundation to my life, you know, because I studied psychology in uni, right? I have not been able to practice it. I've tried, but you know, I've not gotten like a place to practice it. But I also have a very, like, I am very passionate. I'm also very passionate about things that are related to film. So content is literally one of them, you know, social media and just the whole creative industry, something that I'm very passionate about. So that's something I've been trying to do right now. But then again, I always have moments where I ask myself, am I in the right path? You know, I studied this and yet I am doing this. Is it because I have not been allowed to practice it, or is it because I actually had this interest all along and I never paid attention to it until after I finished school? That is when I started like really locking in and seeing what I can do with my creative side, you know? So I'm just like, am I building a strong foundation for myself right now, or will I reach Ukombele years later and have to like take a few steps back and like reroute and do it all over again. You know, that is the challenge that I face. And I do my best to not invalidate challenges that other people of other ages face. For example, like my younger brother, like he's a teenager right now. I think he's 14. Yeah. And from what I recall, being a teenager was not easy. Oh my goodness. It was not easy. The whole just even just trying to put your best foot forward and to study and to have the right friends and like the whole identity crisis. Oh my god, like there's always literally everyone is facing their own thing because those are the teenagers, right? And then because our parents right now can tell us, you know, you should be happy, or even I can tell my brother, you should be happy because you're not paying rent, you should be happy because you don't have any bills, but in reality we're just facing different challenges in different aspects. Yes, our parents right now definitely have to be more aware of their financial situations because one, they are the kids, you know, who they are responsible for, their own lives they're responsible for. They're trying to like be in school and, you know, get like the what's that nini, like in a masters, the PhD, whatever, and just being better people in general and drinking their water and being a good sister, a good father, a good sister, a good mother, a good daughter, a good employee, a good colleague. Like there are so many roles that are to be played by them right now that if they were to look at our lives right now as the young ones, as the Gen Zs, as they always say, they feel like we definitely have it easier, you know. So I really try not to look at others and be like, no, but what do you have? What could you possibly be going through anyways? But because in reality, everyone is going through something in their own capacity. You feel me? And actually, it's a concept by Eric Erickson. I need to look into that again. He breaks down the developmental stages of basically human beings. And so we get to see at every age what is the emphasis or like what are they more concerned about at that particular time. I think I can check that and put it on the screen later. Something else I wrote is sometimes it truly isn't okay. I don't like this phrase, everything happens for a reason. I used to go with it before, but with more thinking. Can you tell I have been thinking a lot? I've been going through something. Yeah, I don't necessarily like it. Like I feel like it's not foolproof. Like there are definitely some loopholes to it because some things, what do you mean? Because when you say everything happens for a reason, it means that for every negative thing, there has to be like a positive thing that comes out of it. But then I think of atrocities that have happened in history. For example, genocides. Honestly, what positive comes out of that? You tell me. I stand corrected, honestly. I'm literally here to just to learn as well. What there are certain situations that don't need a positive twist to them. So saying everything happens for a reason puts pressure on things making sense. It puts pressure on there being a happy ending to something just so that it can make sense in our heads. And there's also another random tweet or meme I saw another time where someone was like, actually, we find ways to make meaning to things that happen to us so that we can be able to process it. Because if we don't have meaning for it, then you're gonna run mad trying to be like, why the hell did that even happen? You know, maybe for example, let's say, okay, I lost my job. I don't know why I'm talking about jobs so much today, but let's say, yeah, I lost my job because there was a bigger one that's in store for me. I'm yet to see it, but it's gonna happen. That helps you to sleep at night because it doesn't make you worry about maybe I was incompetent or life is unfair or something like that. You don't have to think about that. The minute you just say, there's better in store, done. Like we really, again, I really hope I find that post because it made so much sense. It it will tie back to like the final point that I have at the very end. Actually, it's the next point. But yeah, what I wrote here is I don't like the phrase everything happens for a reason because there are some truly abhorrent things that happen. And what was the point of that truly? Nowadays, I just learn to make people uncomfortable. If I'm talking about something maybe terrible that happened, I don't end with, but anyways, or But yeah, that's okay. I don't end with this, like, I don't end that way because it's not okay. And I was even trying to tell my friend another day about that, where, we've spoken about something that happened here and there. And then she was like, oh yeah, but anyways, I'll be fine. And it's like, sometimes you're not fine, and that's all right. Literally, that's all right. It's okay to sit in the discomfort of sharing something that literally downs the mood of everybody else, something that dampens the mood. It's okay to sit in that discomfort without having to promise them that you will pull through. Because sometimes, honestly, you're not sure that you will pull through. You feel me? The last point was, all I'm saying is, I think I get it now. I get why people get into religion, drugs, art, you name it. We are all trying to find a way to cope, to make sense of things, because otherwise, how would you explain why we suffer? Oh dear God, that's a heavy one. That is, I feel like I can refill that existential crisis that I had when I was writing that point. But truly, I think I judge less now because I can see where the person is coming from. Sometimes you're just looking for something that gives you hope, because at the end of the day, hope is all we have. Oh wow. Oh wow, that's so beautiful. Oh man. It's it's what gets us out of bed in the morning. It's daring to believe that the future holds something good for you. I'll read that again. We're all just looking for something that gives you hope, because at the end of the day, hope is all we have. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning. Being daring to believe that the future holds something good for you. The reality can be hella depressing. Good lord. Wow, I really wrote that. Again, this is where I stay blissfully ignorant when I can, which I know is a privilege, but I can't right now. Yeah, I was speaking about how sometimes it's just better to not know some things, especially when it comes to like um the state of the world right now, because so much happens and it becomes so anxiety inducing, and you're just wondering how, you know, what do I do with that information? Because there isn't much there isn't much that I can do. So yeah, but I really like the point of how we are all just finding different ways to cope. We're finding different ways to make sense of our existence. We're finding different ways to just motivate ourselves to wake up the next day. Maybe for some people it's like to be an academic warrior. For some people it's actually being a good person. Woo! Philosophy. I'm gonna put a side note here and just talk about this show that I discovered, Juicy. It's called The Good Place. It's a very nice show. That has made me really get back into philosophy and to like really get back into thinking about these things, which I will talk about that show another time. But yeah, I really judge a lot less right now. I really do, because life is a lot. Life is a lot. And we just happen to go down different paths depending on like the kind of circumstances that you have faced. It's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. It's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. I also added a point about happy endings in movies and animation, because I was watching Home just a few minutes before I started filming this, and of course it has a happy ending and everything. And again, I was thinking that's what made me add that to this. How we grew up even with animations and seeing all these happy endings, how the bad guy is always chased away and the whole town is happy and they live happily ever after. But that's not the reality of life. Look at the kind. Oh my god. Oh no, wait, there's a bill that has been passed that I can't be talking the way I want. But literally, so many examples around us of people who need to go but they don't be going. They're still just around. um And you just keep thinking how, oh my god, if this was a fairy tale, like they would have already defeated him and the bad guy is down and we are all so happy, ha ha ha. But in reality, how long is that going to take? How long does that take in actual life? At the end of it all, again, I was watching a podcast that my sister took part in, one of the episodes. Again, I'll just plug it right here also. I like how they were talking about, we are tired, we are trying. It's that there is a lot going on. As we say, mambos is mengis. Mambo ni mengi for you, mambos is mengis. But how do we live through that? Because sometimes you can't entirely change your situation. It's just about learning how to cope with it. So I chose to end it this way. um I wrote, so then, what is keeping me sane through all this? Number one, I wrote my comfort shows. I've been watching a lot of sitcoms lately just to give like comedic relief of everything in general. Like, it's not that, also, again, it's not like I'm going, it's not, this is me just being like, there are people who are going through us, but it's not like I'm going through so much. But then again, it's also like I'm not okay entirely. There are good things that are happening in life, that's for sure. There are good things that I have and I do recognize them, but also in that same breath, I'm also like, there are things that could genuinely be better. I'm trying to say that in a way that doesn't sound spoiled. But really, this is just me being honest about where I am at right now. So back to what I was saying. What is keeping me sane is my comfort shows, the sitcoms mostly, and a couple of animations here and there. I've tried a bit of drama, but for the most part, I'm watching sitcoms. That's how I ended up stumbling upon that show, The Good Place. Second, good food. Hey, man, I will always be a comfort eater till the day I die, honestly. So just making sure that I am eating well. Yes, I'm trying to get past the whole junk thing, but I make sure that I am eating well. Like, I'm not just suffering all the damn time. Sleeping. Of course, getting some good sleep. I'm not feeling exhausted all the damn time. Three, my friends. Oh my god, if there is a time that I have received such emphasis on community, it is right now. Community is so important. And for me now, it's the community that, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but community that I found at the run club that I think I joined now, and community that I find at church as well. Just, man, it's just so freeing, even for a couple of hours, to just be around people and to do something constructive and to laugh and to go home. Like, you know what, today was a good day. So yeah, community. Not sure what to say, my man. Let's see whether that will make it to the edit. But anyway, yeah, TikTok. Of course, TikTok is such a big one. Yes, it is a double-edged sword. I know that. But TikTok has been such a big thing in the sense that you just get online and you just laugh. People are so hilarious. People are so funny. They're just making funny videos and funny comments, and you just laugh. And for a moment, you feel okay. Making content as well. Especially making content that makes people laugh, not this kind of video that is like, ooh, sad and consciousness and oh my god, existential crisis. I just like making funny content and knowing that I made someone's day. It just makes me happy. Working out is a very big thing, which is what I've added running to nowadays. Even just being able to have the release of happy hormones, because sometimes you really have to force your body to give you the happy hormones, because on a regular you'd be like, I don't know, do you need them? I don't think you do, you stay like that. So yeah, movement has been very, very important. Yeah, and finally trying not to give in to a new crisis every day, which is what I was also talking, brings me back to the whole blissfully ignorant thing. It all just ties together. All that goes to say, Mambos is Mengis. Mambos is Mengis, that's for sure. I don't even know how to end the video at this point because this is awkward. You know that moment when you are sharing something and then And then you realize you overshared, and then everyone else around you is like, "Ooh," and now you're also like, "Ooh, how do I stop talking? Somebody shut me up." So that's literally what is going on in my head right now. How do I sign out? But yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you relate to this. Yeah, just let me know if you relate to this, because whew, what a life, what a life, what a life.